Today I'm going to show you how to get this look, which is my go-to 5-minute travel makeup routine. Hey y'all, it's Christy the Gen X Gypsy and welcome. As you can tell by the intro, this is a little bit of a different video for me. I am by no means a YouTube beauty channel and pretty much am very basic in what makeup I wear, but I thought it might be interesting to you to see what I do for my easy peasy travel makeup routine. Before we get started with the makeup routine, I did want to share with you one of my favorite items that I have picked up this summer from Amazon, and it's this great little travel brush holder. Now I use it for way more than holding brushes because, again, simple beauty routine, I don't use a whole lot of makeup brushes. But pretty much everything that I use for my easy peasy travel makeup routine will fit inside of this little case. In fact, you'd probably have room in here for a few more items if you wanted to. I will have a link for this and all of the other items I use in this video in the description below. And if you don't know how to get to the description below, if you're watching on a TV, you're not going to be able to get to it. But if you watch it on your computer or your phone, you just want to click that down arrow underneath the title. And then that will show you everything that I am talking about in this video. I am starting with nothing on my face. All I've done is splashed a little water on my face. I no longer wash my face in the morning. For one thing, I have pretty dry skin, especially with menopause. It's gotten even drier. And I wash my face at night with a cleansing balm, which is really moisturizing, and I put on some nighttime moisturizer. And that I let that soak in, and I don't feel like there's any need to wash my face again in the morning since I cleaned it the night before. So what I start with every other morning is this Paula's Choice 8% AHA gel exfoliant. It's a very low percentage glycolic acid. And I use this every other day because my skin is a little sensitive, and if I use it every day, it starts to peel a little too much and get a little more red. And I found that in every other day use, it's perfect for my skin type. Now, since I used this yesterday, I'm not going to be using it this morning. The item I put on after the glycolic acid, or what I start with on the days that I'm not using the glycolic acid, is this ceramide moisturizing PM lotion. This is actually the Walmart version of it. It is a dupe for the CeraVe nighttime ceramide moisturizing lotion, and I really like it. It's more of a gel type moisturizer, and yeah, it feels really good on my skin. So we're going to start with that this morning since, like I said, I did the acid yesterday, and I just do probably like 3 pumps of it, and I'm going to put that all over my face. Now, because I am not a beauty channel, I do have a mirror down here that I'm using, so I apologize if it looks like I'm looking down, making sure that I'm getting it all on my face and under my chin, on my neck. And what I do when I travel is I will decant these items into little containers like this that I got from Amazon. Same thing with the glycolic acid. I would decant into this little container here too. Well, not the same container, of course, a different container. And then they will be travel size and obviously fit real easy in here. The next thing that I have started using, and I don't remember whose channel I saw this on, and I apologize, but I did see this on another woman's beauty channel. I am a little sensitive about, I feel like this area of my face, my jowls, and kind of under my chin, I just don't like how droopy that area has gotten over the past few years. So I'm always looking for ways to tighten it up. So they suggested and said that this had been working for them. They'd been using it for a while, like 6 months to a year, is this Nivea skin firming and toning lotion that I think you're supposed to use for like cellulite on your legs or whatever, but they've been using it on that area, on this area here under the jowls and the chin, and said that it started to tighten everything up. I've been using it for a few weeks and I've added this to my routine, and I would take this traveling with me too. I don't use very much at all. I use about just a little dab like that. That fits on my finger, like that. Clearly this is new to me. A little dab like that. And this goes a long way. And I just use that down here on my jowls, under my jaw here, down my neck where I've got all those crepey fine lines that have started coming up because of all the sun damage. So I just rub all that in. I'll rub it on the backs of my hands because, you know, anything to make the backs of my hands look a little younger too. And then that's it that I do for cleaning and moisturizing in the morning. It's very, very simple. It's either 2 items or 3 items in the morning, just depending on which day it is. So the next thing that I'm going to put on is my new favorite sunscreen, and this is the tinted sunscreen from La Roche-Posay, and I am sure I am murdering this name every time I say it, but this has been my favorite this year. So La Roche-Posay sunscreen, tinted sunscreen, and this is what I've been using all summer long, and I really like it. I could probably use a little bit of a darker color, but I'm not concerned about it because I do end up putting a little bronzer on, which I think helps to make my skin a little bit darker. But this is what I use for my foundation as well. So we're gonna put some of this sunscreen on, and I do use a pretty copious amount because you want to make sure you get enough coverage. And they say about a teaspoon in order to get the 50 SPF. And I will say I have had no sunburn this summer. In fact, I've had it, you can tell how much whiter my face is than the rest of my body. So I would say that it works really well. So I kind of do it on my fingers and then put it like dab it everywhere before I rub it in, and then a little on my eyebrow, and then I just rub it in. I do my eyelids, I do everything. It does go on a little bit easier if you are within, you know, 5 to 10 minutes of having put your moisturizer on. If you go longer than 10 or 15 minutes after your moisturizer, it's a little stickier, I guess, or thicker. So I just rub that in. I go all the way down my neck, make sure that I don't have a big glob that's still like hanging out somewhere. Have a sip of coffee while I'm waiting for it to soak in. The next item I use is something that I never really had to use much before in my life. I've never had an issue with dark circles or a whole lot of redness on my face. Unfortunately, with menopause and the hot flashes and a lot of trouble with sleeping, I've ended up having a little more of an issue with dark circles under my eyes, and definitely have noticed a little more redness around my nose. So I do use a concealer, and the one that I've been using lately is this Born This Way medium, and it's by Too Faced, in case you were wondering. So I just use a little dab if I feel like I need it. I don't necessarily use it all the time. If I've slept well and I don't have the darkness under my eyes, I'm not going to use it. But when you travel, or when I travel and my sleep is disrupted, I find that I need this a little more when I'm traveling, and it just makes me, I think, look a little more awake. I just dab it here in the corner of my eye a little bit on both eyes, and I do it a little around the bottom of my nose where it's a little red. And sometimes I'll do here on my chin because it gets a little red there. I have like minimal, very minimal rosacea. Luckily, it's not gotten as bad as I thought it might get as I got older. So yay, let's hope it stays that way. Anyway, I use my finger and I just tap it all in. Same thing up here. I don't bring a tool to deal with this or anything. Just using my finger I think is the best. And I don't go very far over here because I don't want it to get in the wrinkles and really, you know, highlight the wrinkles under my eyes, because I'm not going to be putting much else on. In fact, very, very little on after this. Tap it all in so that it covers those corners of my eyes, and then get this little redness under my nose. And I might go up and over my nose because it gets a little red too. I might have put a little much on there, but I just tap it in and kind of spread it around a little bit until it's all nice and blended. There we go. Wipe the extra off. Always have some Kleenex available or something to wipe your fingers off, because It gets a little dirty. So the next thing that I do is I have this Physicians Butter Bronzer that I have been using. As you can see, it's pretty well used. And I've had this travel one for a long time. In fact, I really need to buy a real sized one because I need to save this for travel, and I use it pretty much every day. In fact, I don't know if you can see, it's down, I'm almost down to the bottom of the case. I use this little angled brush, so this will be the only brush that I take with me when I travel. I use this little angled brush and I get a little bit on there and I tap it off a little bit, and then I will go from the outside down on each cheek. Be a little much. And I'll go a little bit on the tops of the balls of my cheeks, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a rosier glow. But I'm doing this to give me more of a contouring to help my cheeks stand out. And then the other thing I do is I'll take this and again tap it off, and then I do along the jawline again, as we talked about before. I'm not fond of how my jawline is kind of feeling like it's getting droopy, and then down underneath my chin too, and then I'll bring it all the way down my neck, which helps my neck blend in with the rest of my body that's a little more tan than my face and my neck. And then I'll do a little up here, especially on days that I'm wearing my hair back. I'll do a little shading there and maybe a little shading on my nose, just wherever you might want to do some contouring. If it feels like it's a little bit too much of a sharp line here at the bottom, I'll kind of just run my finger down it and let it in and just blend that in. And then I've got my contouring and a little bit of bronzer. Hopefully, you know, got my neck looking a little less droopy. But I love this stuff. This is one of my favorites and has been for years and years and years. I can't even remember when I picked it up. It's got to have been at least 3 or 4 years ago. So then for the eyes, all I do is a little mascara. And depending on what I am doing for the day, I'll either use this waterproof e.l.f. in, there we go, the waterproof e.l.f. mascara. And this is their just waterproof length and volume mascara, and I believe it's just in Noir. We're gonna have to look again. Black. It's just black waterproof on that one. If I'm gonna be doing something active or in the water, or if it's really, really humid outside, I will use the waterproof mascara, and I take both of my mascaras with me. If not, I use my all-time favorite mascara, which is this Physicians Formula Organic Fake Out mascara, and I get this in just your basic black, and I do think it comes like in black, brown, and brown, but I use the black, and I've been using this for, oh, I don't know, 5-6 years now. It is by far my favorite ever mascara. I wish they had a waterproof version of this, because that would be what I would wear. I mean, I like the e.l.f. okay, but it is nowhere near as nice as this Physicians Formula. So this is what I'm going to use today, and I'm only going to put it on my top lashes because my bottom lashes do tend to blur and run underneath my eyes, and then I look like I've got raccoon eyes. So we're just going to do the top lashes, and I like to give a little extra out at the corner, and just enough to make sure that they look dark. I have an issue with when I'm in the sun, my eyelashes actually bleach out and turn blonde. So do my eyebrows, although now I'm having more of an issue of white hairs in my eyebrows rather than them just bleaching out. But, you know, I guess that's just what we get to deal with. So again, just the top lashes, and get in, make sure the inside ones have some color on them, and then really just add a little extra to that outside edge, so it kind of looks like you have fake eyelashes on, and a little more, kind of try to balance it out so they look about the same. I am extremely grateful that the genetics worked out in my favor, that I got my dad's eyelashes, because I will say that yes, these are my real eyelashes. I haven't used any eyelash growth, anything, nothing. These are what I've always had, and I am extremely grateful because I know that it's not the norm. And but if you saw my dad's eyelashes, they go up and over his eyebrows. Like, they are so long and curly and lush. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'll use a little spoolie to kind of make sure that there's no clumps in there and separate out the eyelashes. Now, sometimes I will go ahead and do my eyebrows, especially now that a thicker eyebrow is in vogue. So I do use this. Who is this by? I don't even remember when I got this. I've had it for a little bit. Who is it? I use this $1 Billion Brows. I think I got it at CVS or Walgreens or something. It's called $1 Billion Brows BDB Universal Brow Pencil. It just has the extendable pencil on the end there. And I will just kind of come in here. I usually wear my glasses when I do this because I can't see anything. So I'll just come in here. Oops, got a little mascara up there. I'll come in here and just kind of just do quick little strokes like that, just to give a little more thickness to my eyebrows, especially this one. For whatever reason, do you guys have this where you have one eyebrow that tends to get a little thinner or a little shorter on one side than the other one? This one, I cannot get the hair to grow past a certain point on this side, but the other one is like super thick. I don't know if it's the way I sleep on my pillow, like which side of my face I'm sleeping on, if that makes a difference. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. It is what it is. So once I have that on, then I will again use the spoolie to go through and just kind of even that out a little bit and make sure it's not looking too like drawn in. So if you guys are liking this video, if you could tap that thumbs up and let me know. It does make a difference. And I do like to know if this is a type of video that you enjoy. And if you have some ideas of other skincare or makeup videos that you'd like to see me do, let me know in the comments below. So we're gonna just finish this other eyebrow up and go through, comb it through, hopefully covering any of the white hairs. I do have some crazy eyebrow hairs that will get all curly and go in crazy directions. Try to tame those down as much as I possibly can. And then we are done with the eyebrows. So the last thing that I do is my lips. And I do like to use a lip liner. I'm not a smoker and I don't really use a lot of straws, but we just end up with those little fine lines up here around our lips. And with my lips being on the thin side, I like to be able to kind of give it a little more shape with the liner. I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild liner, and this one is, oh my gosh, I shouldn't even bother to take my glasses off, should I? This is Gone Burgundy. So we're gonna put the Gone Burgundy on. I have 3 different colors because I really love these Wet n Wild liners. I like to use the darker one on my trips because I tend to go a little bit of a darker lip. My lip color, it kind of blends in with my skin tone, so I need to go a little darker on my lip liners and my lipsticks in order for them to really show up, if that makes sense. So we're gonna line my lips with the Gone Burgundy. I don't know if I can really talk while I'm lining my lips, but I definitely go on the outside. I guess it's kind of like half on the outside of the lip line and half on the lip. I have to make sure that that inside corner of my mouth gets the lip liner because, again, my lips are so thin that it sort of can get lost in there. And I don't know if you guys have this issue, but my lips are a little crooked. Maybe it goes along with the eyebrow that's thin on one side and my mouth is a little wider on this side. Again, who knows? Maybe it's all gravity's fault. Or we'll just blame it on menopause like I blame everything else. So the lipstick I'm going to use is this NYX or NYX. I think you call it NYX. It's called the Filler Instinct, and this color is Sugar Pie. And it is one of the ones that's got a little bit of the plumping stuff in there because, again, I have my thin lips and I like to do anything I can to help maybe plump them up. This is a nice neutral color that's perfect for a touring around, or I think just an all day. Even if you're going out to dinner, I think this is a good color to wear, especially with the darker lip liner. And there you have it. that is my travel makeup. Now today this took a little longer because of course I was explaining to you and showing you what products I was using, but in general when I get ready in the morning, this routine takes me maybe 5 to 7 minutes tops to get ready, and some of that's only because I like to give a little bit of drying time between the glycolic acid and some of the moisturizers and before I put my sunscreen on. Let me know if you have some travel makeup products that you really enjoy and think that I should try out. I'd love to hear, again, in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me here today. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Beauty routine, if you could call it. No more air quotes.